Miso soup is so simple and comforting, but it's incredible how much time and patience goes into making the actual miso.
Soup is so wonderful because it's warm, especially in the cold season like here in New England. Warm miso soup is a delight.
I feel like singing "This Land Is Your Land."
Go for it.
My name is Christian Elwell. I'm the owner of South River Miso Company. We're located in Conway, Massachusetts. We're in the foothills of the Berkshires. It's a lovely area, and we've been making miso here since 1981. Miso is a very delicious seasoning. The most common way miso is used is as a seasoning to flavor soups. We use rice, barley, and millet for the grains, and then the beans that we use are a yellow soybean, a black soybean. We use chickpeas for the chickpea miso. So now we're going to be cooking the beans. This is a wood-fired cooking operation. Until very recently, all cooking was done by wood fire. Long, slow cooking of the beans renders the beans to be completely broken down in the fermentation process. We're cooking the chickpeas, because this week we're making chickpea miso. Miso making is a double fermentation process, and the first fermentation is growing a culture using rice. We inoculate it with the spores of the Aspergillus mold. Aspergillus is the same mold that penicillin is derived from. We start calling it koji after it's been inoculated with the spores of the Aspergillus mold. So this is the koji room where the koji is incubated. Traditional Japanese koji rooms had a small door. The people were shorter, but also so they contained the heat. Koji room is kept at a warm temperature, about 90 degrees, and high humidity. The mold has been metabolizing on the grain. It's been converting the starches of the grain into simple sugars, and then creating an abundance of digestive enzymes, which we want for the miso fermentation. The koji has been fermenting for 2 days, and now this morning it's ready to harvest. Right up until World War II, all of miso was made by actually treading the beans underfoot. So now it's time to enter into the miso making. This outer layer of socks is organic cotton socks. Body, soul, and spirit. In 1981, when we started making miso, we were using a machine to grind the beans. One morning, we had 250 pounds of beans, and the meat grinder broke down. So what to do? But I knew that treading process was really the heart and integral to the ancient process of miso making. When one treads the beans underfoot, not all of the beans are crushed. That affects the way they ferment when the miso goes into the vat. So that adds again to the complexity of flavor. It changed my whole experience as a miso maker. In fact, that morning I really felt for the first time that I was a miso maker. The whole treading process takes about 45 minutes to an hour until the beans are almost all mashed. I've walked over 3,000 miles in soybeans or other beans. Yukio and I are going to now be adding 180 pounds of rice koji. We bring it into the fermentation building where it goes into the wooden vats, and then it ages in the wooden vats anywhere from 3 weeks to 3 years. So this is miso that's ready to harvest. We're making close to 120,000 pounds of miso a year. Miso making has always been a surprise to me. I didn't grow up knowing anything about miso. I never heard of miso till I was in my 20s.
What were you or who were you before miso?
I've forgotten.